Okay, when I help you put this together, you're gonna say this is so ridiculous, because you remember how we were talking about some witches or cabal or some Hollywood, and they want to, kind of drag society to hell, right? Well, the reference to hell is in Fire and Brimstone. Fire and Brimstone is a colloquialism that comes from the rolling over of the municipality, the aristocracy schisms. There isn't enough of the push of the modality for everybody to be happy, right? So they demand determinism. Man is not naturally deterministic when nature, land, God provides, when God provides, or whatever, when everything is provided through skill and ability, or self-reliance. There's no, what I'm saying? You would think determinism is self-reliance. It's not, you know what I mean? Determinism is like it rolls over into austerity before, because it's like it's like saying we the people need to unify and be oneness. How do you know they're not already unified and one? What does one even mean? You know what I mean? They're trying to get you to swing your energy over into another theater, a contested theater. The actors are selfish. So determinism rolls over into austerity, and austerity, which is like defend, you know what I mean? Like all these like principles, and they galvanize you, right? People get polarized by it, and then you can be given something to appeal to innocence and dichotomize. This is good, so then anything that comes at that is bad. So if necessary, they could represent by kicking babies over a wall, if that would get to you. But they have to assess what, you know what I mean, would make you want to unify. So it's like it's have the opponent kicking babies over a wall show you something like this, right? Right now, the big thing is biolabs, right? So it's going to be, Munchausen, you know what I mean? Like that. Sorry. Let me wipe that off for you. And then fucking they'll forget about that, and it'll be like, okay, well, now we're gonna stand with so and so, right? And they're just getting people to go so far and then turn around and come back. They've got people to stand behind you that are more scary than the people on the other side of the hill. That's the only way to get you to charge over, right? They just get you so far, and then they fucking abandon you. I fucking swear to God. They'll let a barracks get carpet bombed by Lysander cruise missiles to get us into it, like a Pearl Harbor type of thing. Like why certain things were off, like there were certain radars and shit that was like temporarily turned off in Pearl Harbor. You don't trust Delano Roosevelt. He's a virulent racist. And every time it's a virulent racist. Every time. It's just that they might be in the in crowds, and they do the in crowd ritual. Remember, if anybody knows, then they've been following up on shit more than the people that I'm trying to reach out to. If you already know about the in crowd ritual. Right. Yeah, anyways, I was in the 7th grade when that shit was at its full capacity, and I thought it was, I thought that shit was cool. I don't have, like, to this day, I still wouldn't make an issue if I seen a blonde weave. The weave is peace, if you didn't know. The weave is peace. I stole that. That's content theft right there from content creators. Shameless, but yeah, okay, enough analogy. So this is the art history, right? This is not Christianity. This is aside from it. This is some shit that Jesus could it's in his wheelhouse. I'm sure he could follow where I'm going, but it's not his message. It's not Jesus' message, right? It's not using the art history to challenge like beliefs and disciplines and mystery systems or anything like that. Like, or conflate them all together, or to try to make everything seem, like it's all the same or something. But it's art history that this is constantly going on, and it's the rolling over, right? And also chakras are like waves, right? And so it could be imbued, like the charge that's imbibed in a Djed pillar being used to elect delegates, and these actors get a charge. They get charged with a title or a position to carry out statesmanhood. Or they could be some hoods. It could be hoods if they don't take onus away from the proletariat, if they don't remove onus and place it somewhere it belongs, or on another person that it belongs that's not proletariat. That's a task or some difficulty. Okay. Any more about the art history part though? Fire and brimstone. Fire and brimstone was coined from the rolling over of the municipalities, and that's where you get stories like Helen of Troy and Achilles and stuff like that. There are different connotations that contributed to the concept of hell. Fire and brimstone, which coined that one. Another one is Prometheus gave fire to man and was punished by being chained to the Isle of Patmos or something, with where the volcano Tartarus on an island. And then there's also the subconscious amenti, a projected thought through a conduit into a human in the physical domain, which would be like MK Ultra, right? That's hell. Or if you see the path that you could have taken if you made right decisions, and somebody else and that's looked like paradise to you, but you didn't fulfill. That's also one version, and that one is based on whether or not you feel like a success, and so it's your own parameters placed on how you feel about that, and it can be personalized, and anybody can go there. This is like, life is unfair. You can put pressure on certain people to perform, and then cast them in a certain likeness, and always make them feel like that's them when it's somebody else projecting through a conduit, the subconscious, like and some of the symbolism of the subconscious resonates with the astral plane more, so Stella got her groove back is the best message for it's like what's really good, it's like blaxploitation and Stella got her groove back, and things that people can't argue with, like it's like something like that, but like I don't want to what's it called, take virtue and like hold it up in a bright light, but there's some other things that you can't argue with, right? And those are just good for you to keep doing, to be about your flock, right? To be about your flock. And it was just like it was just like you were getting tempted by Satan, you didn't know. To keep doing what you need to do. And I'm not even saying like I believe like all the same way like Satan. Satan could be an aspect of the Great Mother that is that is like working out our inequity or something like that, and it just represents them because you're painting a picture, you're misrepresented to, so it's of no help for you to grow, right? And then we call that Satan, right? But if you go past everything in the universe that we know, there's nothing else out there but you, right? There's different ways to say this, right? It's like if you push out further than that, it's a different dimension. So he's on a different dimension. He's on the dimension Michael kept him on that dimension, right? Because that's hierarchy. At the bottom is the serpent, and at the top is Michael, right? It's like holding him back. But that was some energy that was more evil than the antithesis to the hierarchy that we didn't know, that you have to question what it is. He's just holding them back. That's not really Satan, that's the serpent. So it just continually escapes definition, and even the serpent could mean our people too, like snake people or pre-Diluvian. Everybody's got pre-Diluvian, Typhonian origins, right? Everybody, and we all have the what is this, like nomenclature or something? But then you would see that it's all presupposed, and it's the enclave, waiting for the new pope to be announced by the puff of the smoke. It's an enclave, like a plebiscite. You know what I mean? We're already led to believe that voting is is something that our way to upkeep or uphold our end of what it's still got to run like a bakery. You know what I mean? You can't let everybody vote because everybody's not invested in your success. It's just true. Whatever we're doing over here at the Great American Experiment is probably the best that it's ever worked out. But then you're gonna have to go back to paternalism. All the states have an emasculated animal. There's no other animal portrayed emasculating than for a government. They don't have gorilla. There's no gorilla. They have an eagle. You can have a bear, and if you're like, wow, I don't know. You can have a dragon. Okay, you can have a lion. You have a lion. You can have an eagle. You can have a bear. Maybe if you're a druid or something, you can have a dragon, right? But you're not gonna see anybody with a gorilla, right? Oh, you know what it is? Because animals have some like a kind of, it's life or death for them. They feed ferociously. And then we projected on the animal that it's emasculated, and then it became a seal for the state. And everybody emasculated too, unfortunately. It was like something that was brought on. A couple things like that you could say were brought on, I don't want to be wimpy or anything, but pornification maybe. And Well, there's the industrial era. There's the industrial age, right? There's with all of its reductive reasoning is brought on by polarization and galvanization. Maybe projecting a thought through a conduit using synthetic force screens. It's something like you get a dependence to, a mirror magic augmented device. Like, it just seems like this thing that just falls in our hand. It's just changed. It's changed us. There's things that just, we go on a course on par with it, which lets me know why the sooner or later, like, I think Space Force is code for the remilitarization of the post office and a cyber division. And I think it's because there's a root C text hash ID that works as a seal, and then we need a government agency to make sure that privacy protected for for your eyes only information. You can't look inside it. It's just where the mail goes. So all that mail, you have it all, you better beef up. Like, you gotta beef up. And right now we're pretending like we're gonna go on paying pensions to people that are competing with industry like FedEx and shit, when they're not. They just want to wait for the overturning of a municipality to do that same shit, to bring back the same shit on us. And then they're gonna be like they're gonna be like pizzazz, like the only shit dipped in fresh. You knew that? Oh my God, you are smarter than I ever could imagine I could be. But you could predict it now. It's just not, it just sucks because none of it really has come to fruition. And then for it to come to fruition, you would have to imagine the calamity is already taking place. You know what I mean? Enough for there to be someone to save us. You know what I mean? They're getting all the white knights ready right now for austerity, but the ones that's going to save us, they ain't going to remember you white knights at all. They're going to scrape you off their boot. They're not going to give a fuck. That's why nobody likes them white knights. That's why you get a bad feel. It's like when dogs hear the siren and they start howling and shit. Like, smart dogs will start howling when they hear the siren. It's like you seen a white knight, you be like, oh, it's gonna be some bullshit. It's gonna be some bullshit. That, like, they're the ones that really make everything worse. Like, you could say that men don't run the show, you know what I mean? But you can't blame everything that goes wrong on women. You gotta blame it on the white knights. They make mistakes they can't they refuse to correct even after it's been shown and proved, you know what I mean? After, it's not gonna ever let up.